Hey everyone, my name is Kelly from It's Just Kelly here on YouTube, and today I'm reviewing the bfree cup for Put a Cup in It. Getting down to the details of the bfree cup, if you're not familiar with it, it is a very special and unique cup in my opinion. It comes in a nice reusable tin. This is the packaging, super recyclable. You can reuse it for things. Outside the tin it tells you what's included. It gives you some details on how to use the cup. In the tin you also get a little carrying bag, and this is where I really like bfree. They really are trying to be as sustainable and as reusable as possible with everything from their cup to their packaging. So not only is the metal tin nice because it's reusable and it's nice and sturdy and you can store things in it or use it for something else, but not only that, but the carrying bag itself has instructions on how to insert the cup as well if you want to use the carrying bag. Now, I actually don't use any of my storage bags for any of my cup storage. I just kind of fling them in my top shelf or drawer of our vanity, or I literally will just leave them in the shower, and then when my period comes, I'm like, oh, grab a cup, put it in. Which brings me to my next nice thing about this cup. This cup is the first 100% medical grade silicone cup that is antibacterial. So what that means is that you do not have to clean this cup in between uses. You can just wipe it clean and then reuse it again. It's pretty cool. The concept of it is just amazing to me. It makes way more sense for people in countries that don't have a lot of clean water accessible to them, or any at all. It makes sense to use in places like homeless shelters or prisons or things like that. So not only is this cup antibacterial, but what also makes it different is that there is not a single hole in the cup, which helps with bacteria growth. You know, if you don't have any tiny crevices for it to go into and lock into, then things won't grow there. The fact that it doesn't have holes is a huge win for me, because I find a lot of my cups actually getting kind of crusty inside the holes around the rim. Now there is one hole at the bottom. The bottom is a ball with a grippy on the outside. I thought this would be an issue with holding on to blood or water or things like that, but because of the way the hole is shaped and how big it is, and because it's not very deep, water and stuff just rinses right out and comes out and dries. There's nothing that stays in there and collects, which was surprising to me. The shape of this cup is very similar to most cups. The difference is though, however, the bottom right here, instead of being completely smooth, you can kind of tell, it almost ridges in like facets, like a diamond kind of goes smooth then round, then smooth then round. There are a bunch of different smooth with little grippers, you can kind of see it better there, where you can really grasp onto the cup and pull it down and get it out to break the suction. On the inside of the cup, you're not going to be able to see it very well just from me showing you it here, but there is kind of almost a lotus shaped leaf design on the inside. I think it might be just to help with the integrity of it and popping open and staying open while inside of you. Now the flange, or the flared out rim up top, is really soft when you feel it, but in general, the whole rim itself together, you can hear it, is very firm. It does come in a bunch of different sizes, all from being super duper small to a large. I will say the smaller you get, it gets a little bit softer, but across the board, all the sizes, the rims are all very, very firm, and they do pop up very hard and very fast. Now, if you want to see where these cups compare in regards to other sized cups, make sure to check out Put a Cup in It's website to see their cup comparison chart. If you're looking to find a new cup, it's your first time, they also have that wonderful test there for you to be able to figure out what cup would suit you best as well. Me, Kelly, I fit a lot of cups really well, so it can be confusing if you're one of those people who, you know, are just starting out and you don't know, or even if you're like me and you can basically use most cups, it's confusing to know which to choose because the market's so large now. All right, so getting down to the nitty-gritty of this cup, I really, really love this cup. Now, what I will say about the little flange, first off, I love it because it's curved and so like thin and fine right there. It really does snug behind my cervix perfectly, especially when my cervix is really high up and I can't necessarily feel it to get it around. And even actually more so when it's really low, and sometimes when my push down fold doesn't want to come up because my cervix is in the way. It's really nice because this is so fine and thin and kind of curved. It kind of just slides nicely where it needs to go, which I really like. But One downside of this flange is that if you're not careful, the combination of the super firm rim and the combination of almost the sharp thinness of the little flare out, the combination of the two, if you pop that thing open too early because it's so slippery, and if your hands are wet because you just like were in the shower or had blood on your fingers or whatever, if it pops open too fast, that little like edge, if that thing clips your clit, you see Jesus. It's like a lightning bolt. At least it was for me. So one thing I did take away from using this multiple times was to be very careful in making sure that this was past the opening of my vagina before I started releasing it. What I will say about this cup is if you can get the hang of it, which honestly for me it didn't take long. Again, I have a lot of cup experience, so that plays a part, but I don't think it's a difficult cup to learn how to use, and once you learn how to use it properly, you'll be so happy if you can find the right size that fits you well. I love this cup. I did yoga in this cup. I did all of my outdoor soccer games with this cup on. I didn't have any issues with leaking at all. I didn't have any issues with cramping or weird feelings on my cervix, which sometimes I get from super firm cups. And again, I didn't ever have to worry about washing it in between, so there was no stress of like, oh my gosh, I forgot to boil my cup, which again, I stopped doing because I was sick of being stressed about that. Which cup do I grab for? This is a great cup. I really hope you guys can find a size that you like, because this is definitely a cup worth trying. Not only is the cup really, really great, the packaging's really, really great and thoughtful, but also the company itself does a lot of education for people who menstruate in regards to training people to train other people on how to use this stuff or doing that themselves. It's a really good thought out company, and this is a very good thought out product. So I'm very proud to be able to share this with you. It is manufactured in Canada for all my Maple Leafs out there, but it is shipped all over the place, thankfully, even though it is based in Canada. I know that is also a rare thing to hear and see, is a cup that is manufactured in Canada and also be able to be sold in Canada, in the United States, and other countries. There you have it. There's my review of the cup. Again, if you want to see where it compares to other cups in regards to size, firmness, and all of that, make sure to check out Put a Cup in Its cup comparison chart and their quiz. Make sure to subscribe to Put a Cup in Its channel. Follow us on Instagram, and I will see you all in a later video. Bye.